Hi, this is going to be an overview of the class schedule, where to find it, and how to use it, because it's a very important tool to help you succeed. So first and foremost, you'll see a link on the left side of Moodle that says class schedule. Guess where that takes you? You guessed it, to the class schedule. Also, under an important information tile, you scroll down a little, you'll see another link to the class schedule. You guessed it, that goes to the class schedule. So I happen to have it open. Let's jump over here and take a look, and let me show you just a couple of things. I think it's probably fairly self-explanatory, but let me point out some stuff for you. So if you open the document outline, you'll notice that this is already set up so that you can jump from section to section, and you can just scan down and find the different pieces that we're doing each week. That's a really useful tool. On these first couple of pages, this is just general information about time management, about how the schedule works, about how to set up announcements and notifications. Definitely look that over. So let's jump down to the first week. Now, up here, I've got kind of a cheat sheet. PK Original, those are my lecture notes or my lecture videos. PK for Prof. Curdy. I had a student call me that years and years ago. She used to just call me PK, and so that sort of stuck. And then CC for textbook and GCF for GCF Learn. Keep in mind the GCF Learn resources are supplemental, not required. Wouldn't hurt to open the link and just scan over the tutorials to see if there's something you want to dig into, but that's mostly there to help you up your skills a little bit or explain things in a more simplified fashion. It's really a good website, and it's got lots of great resources. So that's why I include it, but it's not required reading by any means. So when you look at the schedule, you'll see the week. Each week's got its own page, but they're all set up the same way. You've got a column for things you're going to read and view. You've got a column for assignments, and that column is split into two assignments. One is like the main projects or the different activities, and the other column is strictly for the reliable sources project, because it's such a big project and it cuts across multiple weeks. So pay particular attention to things highlighted in yellow. Those are the due dates, and we have variable due dates in the winter session. Well, because it's a short winter session. Normally we would have things set at a certain time, like Sunday at midnight for everything. But because of how things are organized in the winter, and because of how things are truncated, we have variable deadlines. So pay attention to that. This can be your tool to keep track of those things. And you'll just notice it's the same format every week. So we have these subheadings, part 1, part 2, part 3. And if we come over to week 1, you'll notice this maps part 1, part 2, part 3, because essentially we're doing about 3 weeks worth of work every week. And so I've listed out most of the resources that we'll be reading or watching or looking at, but I do reserve the right to edit or delete or revise, because sometimes things change or topics change a little bit. Sometimes the link's not there anymore. And so some of these, as is right now, may change throughout the semester. I mean, I think they'll probably still be there, but I always check right up until the time that I launch the week open. But I've done something different this semester. I've linked in all, no pun intended there, I've linked in all of the main projects that have project assignment sheets. So as you go through, you'll see things like Photo Safari or individual presentations. Those are the big projects, and those are all done on Google Docs. So here's my caveat. I've opened them all up so that you can take a look. You can spend an hour or two going over all of this just to get in your head what we're going to require for the whole semester. However, normally I'm editing assignments right up until the time that they open for the week, just because of that thing where sometimes links change, or I find another great resource to include. So if you see draft on it, and if it doesn't say the current semester here, then you know it hasn't been updated yet. However, and it will be updated before the week gets assigned. So when the week opens up, it'll be fully updated. However, you can take a look and get an idea of what will be required. And so I added those in there just as an extra tool for you to plan your time, get an idea of what the big projects are, so that way you know where everything is located. Now, one last tip, if you want to copy this into your own drive, it's fairly easy for you to copy into your own drive. Whoops, didn't mean to close that. Go up to File, make a copy. When you do, this will copy into your own drive and you can actually check these things off as you've done them. Now, here's the caveat on that. If I make updates to my original file here, it will not update your copy. So you always want to look at the bottom, probably, every once in a while, and just check if that date has changed. And I'll probably make an announcement if something does change. But for now, we can count on these dates being the way they are. So my recommendation is to either copy this into your own Google Drive if you like doing things digitally, or for me personally, I would print it off and I'd keep a copy of it near my computer that I could review frequently so that you know how to stay on track with everything. That's how to use the class schedule.